You know the exact scenario we are diving into today.
Oh, absolutely.
It happens to every single one of us. It is usually around maybe 5:30 in the evening.
Right. The end of the day.
Yeah. You walk in the door, or maybe you just log off that final Zoom call and someone asks you the question.
The inescapable question.
The universal question, how was your day?
And the trap just snaps right shut.
Exactly. You go on autopilot, you just say, good you.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, the conversation is effectively dead on arrival.
It really is.
It's a wasted opportunity, and honestly, it's a little soul-crushing when you realize you do it every single day.
Well, it is the social script we are all trapped in. We treat that question like a password to get to the next part of the interaction, rather than an actual inquiry.
But today, we are dismantling that script.
We really are.
We aren't just looking at better words to use, though we do have plenty of those for you. We are looking at the actual mechanics of connection.
The underlying architecture of small talk.
Right. We've got a massive stack of research here for this deep dive. It goes way deeper than I expected.
Oh, it's fascinating stuff.
We have conversation analysis from the Santa Barbara corpus, sociolinguistic studies on things like cooperative overlapping, and even research from the University of Minnesota.
That Minnesota study completely reframes how we judge intelligence in conversation.
It really does. Plus, we pulled from a Reddit Life Pro Tips thread on social hacking, some British Council guides, and vocabulary deep dives from Henry's TSIL and Oxford International.
So this is really about moving from transactional speech, just getting through the moment, to relational speech.
Yeah, how do you actually use a basic status update to build trust with someone?
Let's start with the opener.
Okay, let's do it.
Because that Reddit Life Pro Tips forum we looked at, it dissected exactly why "how was your day" fails so often.
It's not just boring. The argument there is that it's structurally flawed.
Right. It is structurally flawed because, psychologically speaking, it is a high cognitive load question disguised as a simple one.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, if I ask you, "how was your day?" you have to instantly scan the last 12 hours.
Oh.
You have to filter out the noise, calculate an average emotional sentiment, and then compress all of that into one word.
That is a lot of mental work for a quick hallway greeting.
It is, which is why our brains default to fine.
It's the pack of least resistance.
Exactly. We are just saving energy.
So the alternative proposed in the source material, which is actually backed by sociolinguistic principles regarding directives, is to switch from asking to commanding.
Not aggressively, obviously.
No, but using the imperative. Tell me about your day.
Tell me about your day. It shifts the burden completely.
It changes the parameters. You aren't asking for a summary judgment anymore. You're inviting a narrative. It gives the other person permission to just pick one specific thing, a moment, a frustration, maybe a win.
Rather than trying to summarize their entire existence since breakfast.
Right, and it signals that you actually have the time to listen.
Though, looking at the British Council sources we pulled, "tell me about your day" might feel a bit intense for a casual acquaintance.
Or a colleague you don't really know that well.
Yeah, it requires a certain level of intimacy.
So for lower stakes interactions, the British Council suggests what they call soft openers or bridges.
This is where you comment on the shared reality before getting personal.
Like, what brings you here today? Or even the classic observation about the weather.
People love to mock weather talk, but it serves a crucial evolutionary function. It is phatic communication.
Meaning it establishes safety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are agreeing on the environment. Yes, it is raining. We do that before we agree to share emotional data.
It's like a handshake for the brain.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so we've established safety. We've opened the door.
Right.
Now let's look at the response. Because if I ask you, tell me about your day, and you just say, I'm busy.
Then we are back to square one.
Yeah, busy is basically the new fine.
Busy actually shuts down empathy because everyone is busy.
It's not descriptive. It's almost dismissive.
To actually connect with someone, you need imagery.
And we found some incredibly vivid idioms from the Oxford International and TFL sources that solve this exact problem.
They paint a picture instead of just stating a fact.
The one that really stood out to me was snowed under. It is such a specific visual.
It's very evocative, isn't it?
Yeah.
You aren't just busy, you are buried.
It implies this external force, like the work is piling up like a blizzard and you are just immobilized.
It tells the listener that you are overwhelmed by volume, not necessarily by the difficulty of the tasks.
Contrast that with the Russian idiom that's made its way into English, like a squirrel in a wheel.
Oh, I love that one. which is distinct from the hamster wheel we usually hear in the U.S.
How so?
The squirrel metaphor captures a more frantic, high-energy kind of futility.
Right.
It's not just that you have a lot to do, it's that you are moving at maximum velocity but making zero geographic progress.
I feel like that defines the modern corporate experience perfectly.
High speed, zero displacement.
Exactly. Now, if you are working really hard but actually getting things done, you might say you are burning the midnight oil.
Which brings a bit of historical romance to simply working late.
It does. It implies you are doing something necessary, maybe even a little noble.
It frames the work as dedication rather than desperation.
Because it goes back to when artificial light was expensive, right?
Exactly. You wouldn't burn oil unless the work was critical.
And what if you are facing a task you just completely dread?
Then you bite the bullet.
That's the courage narrative. Like, I finally bit the bullet and sent that difficult email.
It turns a boring administrative task into a mini hero's journey.
It also signals vulnerability, which I think is key here.
Yeah.
You are admitting you are afraid or reluctant, which builds rapport with the person listening.
It's a lot more engaging than just saying, I send an email.
Yeah.
You are sharing the emotion of the task.
We also saw some great phrasal verbs in the Grammarly data. Running around was a big one.
It seems simple, but it carries a very specific weight.
I've been running around all day.
Right. Running around implies erratic movement. You aren't just working. You are switching contexts constantly.
It tells me you are mentally scattered.
Yes. And when you are finally done, you don't just stop.
You call it a day.
I'm going to call it a day. It is a declaration of agency.
It separates the work self from the home self. It's a verbal boundary.
Absolutely.
So we have the vocabulary to describe the grind. But the sources show that structure matters just as much as word choice.
This is where we get into the slightly nerdy side of things. Grammar as a status signal.
I was so surprised by how much the specific tense matters here.
This is one of my favorite insights from the Mr. English source we looked at.
Let's break it down.
Most people default to the past simple tense. They say, I ate lunch, or I finished the report.
It's factual. It's basically a history lesson of your day.
But it is disconnected from the now. To sound more professional and accomplished, the source recommends using the present perfect.
So, I finished the report.
Yes, or I have sent the emails.
It's a subtle shift. Past simple says, this happened in the past. Present perfect says, this is my current status of achievement.
It connects the past action to the present moment. It implies the slate is clear.
Like, if you are giving an update to your manager, present perfect makes it sound like you are in total control.
Exactly. Whereas past simple just sounds like a list of chores you got through.
It effectively changes the narrative from I worked to I achieved.
And that grammatical distinction colors how people perceive your competence.
It pivots slightly to the flow of the conversation itself.
Okay.
Because even if you have the best vocabulary, the rhythm can totally fall apart. I was raised, and I think most of us were, to believe that interrupting is the cardinal sin of conversation.
It is the standard etiquette rule, for sure.
But the Santa Barbara Corpus of Spoken American English challenges that view entirely.
They analyzed recordings of natural, high-energy conversations.
Specifically one they called the lambada after dinner conversation.
And they found people talking over each other constantly.
Yet no one was offended. It wasn't an argument.
Right. Linguists call this cooperative overlap.
Cooperative overlap.
Yes. In many cultures, think New York Jewish, Italian, Caribbean, and quite a few others, talking along with someone is a sign of high involvement.
So if I finish your sentence, or I'm chiming in with, right, exactly, while you are speaking, I am not trying to steal the floor from you.
Not at all. You are playing backup.
I love that.
You are signaling, I am so in sync with you that I can predict where you are going.
It creates a lot of energy.
It validates the speaker. It transforms the conversation from a rigid turn-taking game into a jam session.
But looking at the research, this is a high-risk strategy if you don't read the room correctly.
Oh, huge risk.
Yeah.
If you use cooperative overtap with a high considerateness speaker, which is someone who values long pauses and strict turn-taking,
They will see you as a steamroller.
they will feel completely silenced. You have to calibrate to the other person's tempo.
Speaking of things we judge people for, let's talk about filler words.
The ums and of you.
Yeah. The scourge of public speaking coaches everywhere.
We tend to associate these with a lack of confidence or even low intelligence.
But the University of Minnesota study we looked at flips that entirely on its head.
It really does.
It found that younger women are the most frequent users of these fillers, but not because they are uncertain.
That is the key finding. The data points toward what they call a conscientiousness theory.
Wait, so saying might actually mean you are more conscientious.
Think about the function of the word in real time.
Okay.
If I say, I am signaling to you, I am thinking. I haven't abandoned the conversation, but I want to get this phrasing exactly right.
So it's a floor-holding strategy.
Exactly. It respects the listener by letting them know you are still engaged, rather than just leaving dead air.
And does you know act similarly?
You know is a check-in.
Oh.
It's an invitation for agreement. It seeks consensus.
These aren't errors, then.
No, they are social calibration tools.
Yeah.
People who use them are often highly attuned to the social dynamics of the room.
They are checking, are you still with me? Do we agree on this?
Right. It is a massive reframe of how we view spoken language.
We are judging people for being quote-unquote ditzy when they are actually doing the heavy lifting to keep the social harmony intact.
We judge the style, and we completely miss the substance.
And it's a bias that often hits younger women the hardest.
Dismissing their contributions because of the way they speak, rather than what they are actually saying.
Let's hop across the pond for a minute because we have some great comparison guides from Bold Voice regarding British versus American English.
We think we speak the exact same language, but the emotional temperature is totally different.
It's the understatement versus hyperbole gap.
Right. If I've had a really long day in the U.S., I might say, I am exhausted or I am beat.
You are looking for maximum impact?
But in the UK, you're knackered.
Knackered. Which just sounds so visceral.
It's just
like you have been physically broken down to glue.
And the response to a problem follows that exact same pattern.
Right. Americans might say that's nonsense or that's baloney.
The British go for the plosive. Bollocks.
It packs a punch. It really does.
There are so many subtle differences. Like Americans say thanks, which is literal.
And the British use cheers for thanks, or even for goodbye.
And let's not even start on the chips versus fries confusion.
A classic trap. But my absolute favorite idiom from this list was for when a task is completed easily.
Oh, Bob's your uncle.
Yes, Bob's your uncle.
Love this one. You just plug in the cable, hit the switch, and Bob's your uncle.
I looked into this, and one theory from the sources is that it relates to a British Prime Minister, Robert Cecil.
Oh, okay.
He apparently appointed his own nephew to a very high political post. So basically, if Bob's your uncle, you've got it made.
That fits perfectly. It implies a kind of magical simplicity.
It's the British equivalent of easy as pie, or voila.
But it adds a specific, slightly absurd character to the mix.
I am definitely adopting that. I uploaded the audio, and Bob's your uncle.
It adds a bit of flair. And using local idioms like that shows cultural fluency.
Which really helps with connection.
Absolutely.
Okay, we are coming in for a landing here. We have covered how to start the chat, how to describe the work with vivid idioms, and the actual rhythm of the conversation.
But conversation is a two-way street. We need to talk about the exit strategy.
The WikiHow guide on conversation dynamics emphasizes this. How you leave is just as important as how you arrive.
You want to protect the relationship while reclaiming your own time.
The phrase I end up using the most from our research today is, I should let you get back to it.
It's a brilliant piece of social engineering.
It really is.
You frame your departure as a favor to them.
Yes.
You aren't leaving because you are bored or eager to get away. You are leaving because you respect their time.
It validates their busyness.
Exactly. It subtly says, I know you are important and busy, so I will withdraw now.
It's polite, but it is firm.
And what if you are on the receiving end?
What do you mean?
If someone asks about your day and you just can't. You do not want to get into it at all.
Oh, right. You use the neutral or chill response found in the British Council materials.
Chilled at home, not too bad.
It lowers the stakes instantly. It signals nothing to see here.
Right. It is a closed door, but a very polite one.
Or what if it was an absolute disaster?
It was one of those days.
That is universal code for do not ask for details, but I need you to acknowledge it was bad.
Exactly. It allows the other person to offer sympathy without needing to sit through a 20-minute rant.
Because it relies on shared experience. We all know exactly what one of those days feels like.
And what about for the workplace?
The ultimate shield. Very productive.
How's your day? Very productive.
It's professional. It's completely safe for bosses.
It says, I did my job. I earned my keep. Please don't worry about me.
So if we zoom out and look at all these sources, What is the golden thread here? We've looked at grammar, idioms, psychology, overlapping.
The thread is that talking about your day is almost never about information transfer.
It's about emotional regulation.
It's a ritual.
It really is.
When you use vivid idioms like snowed under, or you use the present perfect to signal achievement,
Or you use cooperative overlap to show excitement.
you are signaling to the other person, I am here with you. I trust you enough to put effort into this exchange.
And we can stop judging people and ourselves for the ums and uhs along the way.
Justice for